What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to your Bitcoin update. So are we going to get that 51,000? Do we have further to go down? We're going to take a look at the smaller time frame. Then I want to jump into the weekly and daily comparison that I had on the thumbnail. But first, we'll take a look at what's going on here. So looks like our 4-hour closed back above this. Let me open this up so you can see. Looks like the 4-hour closed back above this. So looking for a test of this trend line right here on the 4-hour. If we close above this, then we're probably headed on our way to that 51,000 area that we've been talking about. Let's take a look at that. So this whole time we've been rising, but our volume's still declining, which does not mean that we can't continue on up to get the end of our fifth wave within this diagonal. I've seen a lot of people drawing in the diagonal right here saying we retested it, and that I do not think that is a valid trend line at all. I do believe, let's see, so let's put this out to where we originally had it. We could still come down to retest this trend line. If we were going to come down and retest it on this 4-hour candle, which I don't think is likely, but it is a possibility, it's going to be around that 44,000. So at any time, if we break below the 44,000, then I don't think we're going to get this fifth wave. Could this fifth wave have started already? Definitely possible. I'm not going to make a move until we either break this bottom trend line or we come up and test this area. Now, this could be, depending on if, when, and where it hits this trend line, it could be higher. So it could be up at 52,000 if it was on the 22nd of August. So if you are following along, make sure you draw these trend lines in. I'll be getting into the chat here in a little bit, but just wanted to discuss where we're at right now. But if you guys watched, if you guys know what I'm expecting, it's this ABC. Still possible to go up and test this golden pocket zone. And as we discussed, the only way I get bullish is if we break this green trend line. If that happens, then I will get bullish. Until then, I remain bearish and still think we're going to see a C wave down. Here's another more clear view. And we do have targets here also. Let's discuss another thing real quick. Let me get into a clean chart. So we had these targets also, which lines up with that 51,000 with just a breakout of this. Still definitely possible. I do want to, let me find a chart. You know what? Let's go into this chart here. Let's get all this stuff off of here. So this is what we were talking about a while back. If we've topped out here, we'll see what happens. But we could be creating just a head and shoulders here. This being left shoulder, head if it's finished, and right shoulder down. But remember, the head could still go up to that 51, 52 range. But let's take some measured moves here of where the targets would be for that. So if we're already topped out, which again, there's no confirmation if we're going further or topped out yet. I did just show you the So this, if we're topped out here, the target for that would be somewhere in the 26,500 area. Now, if we were to go up to that 51, 52 and look at this, and again, this is speculation until we see what happens here, but that would bring it down to approximately the 23.6 range. Now, there is another way to look at this. Let's take a look at that. And again, this is speculation on what may happen. Then we'll take a look at where, you know, everybody's talking about that blow off top. The market's been around a little longer, so everybody's looking for a blow off top on the daily. So we're going to be taking a look at that. I do want to show you this also. Could this be just a left shoulder here, head here? We get a right shoulder over here. These are just things to look for. Again, these are just speculation, but let's see what would happen. What would the measured, let me put a trend line in there. So if we put a trend line across here, and if we were to see something like that, what would that target be? If we're topped out here, but remember, we could go to the 51,000. Let me get this where I can see. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash that like button. I do appreciate it, and make sure you turn on your notifications for when I do post videos. So if this was the case, if we got something like this, that would be around the 12,800 range. But again, pure speculation until we see what's going on. But let's take a look at, we're going to take a look at the daily chart. We're going to take a look at the blow off top in 2017. What's up, Lewis? Like I said, I'll get into the chat here in a minute. But let's look at the blow off top. We'll look at two of these. We'll look at the 17 and the 19 blow off top. So here is the 2017 blow off top, right? We had a huge drop, big dead cat bounce, and then just continuation to the downside. And it kind of just acted like a, you know, when you bounce a ball, it just keeps bouncing lower and lower and lower till it broke that 6,000. So just take a good look at that. Let's take a look at 2019. Same thing. We had a big blow off top in the daily, came back down, or came back up, bull trap, and then just kind of fizzled out. Let's take a look at where we're at now. And we'll look at it in the weekly. Guys, that could still be considered a blow off top in the daily, but let's look at it on the weekly. Because the chart is bigger and longer, bigger time frames, more money involved. So we're looking at it on the weekly here. And the same thing, just looks like a blow off top. We'll see what happens, but what if it just does the same thing? Let's say we do get up to that 51, 52, come back down and get another bull trap, come back down, another bull trap, dead cat bounce, and then continue on down. Just some ways to look at it. Like I said, it doesn't matter the price, it's how it gets there. That's what helps us figure out. It's whatever path it takes. That's what helps us figure out the next move. So basically, that's all we're looking for now is what is the next move. Let's look at this in the 1 hour. Whoops. Dang it. Let me get this off of there. So in the 1 hour, it looks like we're trying to get support on the 55 EMA right here. We'll see what happens. Let's put a trend line across these two wicks. And so this is the super short-term time frame, just kind of trying to figure out what might be going on here. Let's do this. So could we be just seeing another wedge? The top of this on the 1 hour is going to be around the 46.2. So a break of that, then we're probably going to be headed towards that 51,000. So keep that in mind. We will put a target there. And remember, these aren't exact. It all depends on if, when, and where it hits these. Let's just say in the next few hours, 46.2. So if we break above that, we could be heading towards that 50 to 51,000 area we've been talking about. If not, could come all the way back down to, like I said, back here. This is the main chart I'm watching, guys. This is the one we've been watching for a few weeks. Another thing I want to do real quick. Let's put that bull market barrier on there that we've been watching. That bull market barrier trend line right here lines up with that wave 5. So that's another thing in confluence saying we could be getting higher in this direction. But again, we could still, I think we're probably still going to come down and touch this, but it doesn't matter what I think. Bitcoin does what it wants. But either way, I'm looking for, if we do break down here, I will put a short in. Although I think it'll get a bounce if it does around the 200 EMA. We talked about that yesterday, around 41,500. Probably come up for a retest to maybe the 45.5 somewhere area and then continue down. We'll keep an eye on it. But as of right now, I still think there's a good chance we get rejected if we do come up to this top trend line. If you guys are interested in trading, don't forget to check out PHEMEX BT, my favorite exchange. You can set it up any way you want with multiple charts. These are all Bitcoin. I have the 15-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily. It just helps you keep an eye on the markets. You can also trade Forex, gold, silver, S&P, Dow Jones, tons of different stuff on here. They don't trade against you. That's why I like them. And if you want to learn how to use their margin, if you go down here, I have a video tutorial on Prime XBT on my page. Definitely check it out. It also shows you how to use my promo codes and where to put them. First one being Savvy50, that gets you 50% on top of whatever you deposit as a bonus to use towards your margin. And Savvy25 will get you 25% off of your fees. So the 50% bonus, if you put in 1 Bitcoin, you get a half a Bitcoin bonus to use towards your margin, is how that works. But if you guys want to know how to use their margin and how to adjust it, a lot of people think it's just 100% or 100x. It is not. It is from 1 all the way to 100x. I think it's 500x in Forex, so, but be careful. Anyways, I would not suggest using that high leverage. There's also some free tutorials here and a BYBIT tutorial here. Some people prefer BYBIT. I do a little trading on it, but I use a small account on that one. That's about it. Let's look at today's video. If you go down under, there's 220 likes. I just made it 221. Guys, go down there, smash that like, just like always. If we get 2,000 views on this video before my next video, I will do some altcoins for you guys and look at altcoins of your choice. So make sure to get that up to 2,000 likes. We hit it the other day, but the rules were different. I changed the rules for you guys to make it a little bit better. So you have until tomorrow's video to get it up to 2,000 likes. All right. I like your daily update videos better than the live ones. Sorry, man. A lot of people prefer the live ones. We can take a vote in here. Hit 1 if you like the live updates better. Hit 2 if you like the recorded ones better. It's looking a lot like the ones are winning here. Definitely looks like the ones are winning. But that's why I try to go over the charts first before I get into the chat. So what are the golden pocket ranges? On what? Well, the golden pocket range of this whole first move down is right here between 51,000 and 52,200. That's the golden pocket range on the big move. All right. So it looks like we got a lot more ones. I already explained that, Pedro. I will be putting a short in. I'll show you one more time as soon as I can find it. Right here. If we break this trend line right here around the 44, depending on if, when, and where, but around the 44,000, if it's today, if it's tomorrow, or the next day, probably around 44,300. If we break this trend line at any time, I will be putting a short in. Otherwise, I'll be looking to short that 51,000 area. When and where we touch this trend line, I will put in a short with my stops just above, risking very little. So the DXY rising wedge on the daily. We will take a look at the when I buy it goes down. Thank you for the super chat. When BTC has a rounded top, it corrects just like the top of 2021. Do we have a comparison in other bull runs of rounded tops being the top? Well, I don't necessarily believe in rounded tops. What I do believe in is the wick-off method up here. And since all the institutional money that everybody wanted in here so bad got in, we got an institutional top, which is the wick-off distribution. And it does look like we are doing just a wick-off redistribution. I've talked about that since we broke down here, that I was expecting a redistribution here and more downside. And it does look to be playing out. Let's zoom in a little more. Let me get that firefly off there. All right, so let's look at ETF coming soon. Man, I remember thinking that and believing that in 2019. Same stuff, same people calling for the same crazy highs, as in after every top, it's always the same. The most bullish news starts coming in and getting people all bullish. Silver's looking ugly. Nothing's changed there. Gold still looking ugly. Nothing's changed there. The Dow's still playing around here. In the long term, the macro chart, the Dow's bearish as hell. The dollar looks pretty strong. It is creating a little bit of bearish divergence here, but we could still come up. Remember, we've had this target of 93.5 since way back in here. So still looking at that. This is on the daily. Let's go into the 4 hour. Let me get this off of here. So this target right here is where I'd be looking for rejection. If it blows above that 93.5, the dollar is very bullish right there. If it can blow above that, but the dollar looks pretty good right now, guys. It has been, and as you guys know, I'm bullish on the dollar for the next year or two at least. Nothing has changed with my opinion on that. Every time the market crashes, the dollar rises, and I do expect a market crash coming soon. And if you guys haven't seen this green line represents the DXY, the dollar index, and behind it you see the Bitcoin chart. Every time the dollar index tops on this, well, let's talk about the bottoms first. Every time it bottoms on this bottom trend line, this was December 2014, Bitcoin tops. Every time it bottoms here, Bitcoin tops. This was February of 18. And we did it right here twice, actually. Bitcoin's topped. I think the next time to buy Bitcoin, if this chart is correct, and again, this is speculation, but if this chart's correct, we buy back into Bitcoin when the dollar reaches back up here. Every time the dollar has topped right here, December 2016, Bitcoin bottomed. We topped again right here, March 2020, Bitcoin bottomed. We have not topped again yet, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. Looking at the MACD down here on the daily, it's bearish with the sell signal, so you can always look at that. What else we got here? That's just looking at that same chart. We went over this yesterday. If you guys didn't see it, you might want to check this out. It makes a lot of sense. It is in yesterday's video. Welcome to the Savvy Supporter Access Goose Amsterdam. And for those of you that don't know what that is, I know a lot of people have been asking why they can't see the membership button, because right here is the join button. If you are trying to become a member, it's like $4 a month, and it's not necessary at all, but a lot of people were doing that for nothing at all, just to support the channel. So I've decided to make my Saturday and Sunday videos for members only, just to give back to them. But we still, Monday through Friday, still going to be the same. But I did want to tell you right down here, it says memberships. That is in the description below the video. If you don't see the join button, maybe try that. I know a lot of people are having problems with it, but hopefully that works for you. If not, I'm not sure. You'll have to contact YouTube or something to see what's going on there. Let's get back into this chart. All right. Can you analyze the market differently at times? I'm trying to support your channel, but it's the exact same every day. It's the exact same every day because I've been telling everyone that this is going to happen and we're just following it. That's all. There's nothing different to show you. I'm not going to show you a new chart every day with a new secret found in the chart. I'm not going to do that. This is not a shill, stupid hopium channel. We're following the charts that I've drawn out that are still playing out exactly how we predicted them to play out. Does that mean it's going to continue? No, but so far, none of the validation points have been broken. So, okay, so if BTC is going to 10K, why is Savvy saying buy in at 32K? When have I ever said buy in at 32K? For one, I never tell anyone when to buy. I never tell anyone when to sell. I never tell anyone when to long, and I never tell anyone to short. That is up to you. I'm showing you what I see in the charts, and I tell you what I do. You do whatever the hell you want. And if you bought the top, you have no one to blame but yourself. If you sold the bottom, you have no one to blame but yourself. Period. All right, what else we got here? Oh, beautiful analysis, Savvy, the voice of balance and reason. As ever, thanks very much. Thank you. Thank you all for supporting the channel. I really do appreciate that. What's your prediction when this bear market is over? Like next year, in mid 2023? It all depends on the traditional markets, man. It really does. Like I've said before, if you think Bitcoin can hold up in a traditional bear market, you're sadly mistaken. Bitcoin will not be able to hold up. It's just a risk on assets, and everybody dumps their risk on assets when the markets dump. You complain a lot about people that watch your show. Not a good look like that shirt. No, I don't complain a lot about people that watch the show. I complain a lot about people that don't pay attention, or people that say just ridiculous comments. And people think I don't like people that have a different view on the market. I do, because that makes me look at the market different. What I don't like is people that are just rude and just obnoxious. So just so you know. Why did BTC hit all-time highs in 2020 when the stock markets crashed? Well, let's look at that. I'm glad you brought that up. So, stock markets crashed in 2020 right here, right? That was the big 2020 crash, right? Started in February. Well, what did Bitcoin do at that time? This might answer your question. This was right here. Bitcoin dumped. Let me zoom into that for you. Actually, let me do a cleaner chart. Where is it? So Bitcoin in 2020. Let's go to the daily. Bitcoin in 2020. This is 2020 when the market crashed. Right here, February. Do you see what happened to Bitcoin? It dropped. Let's measure that. So Bitcoin dropped 64%. How much did the Dow drop? The Dow dropped, like I said, when the traditional markets crash, Bitcoin will crash right along with it. Bitcoin is not powerful enough to hold up by itself. And the Dow only crashed 38, but Bitcoin did 64. So right there's your answer, bud. If you look at the past 200 MA retests, most of the time we fall and go lower. What kind of PC do you have? Honestly, I don't know. It's a gaming PC I bought a few years ago. The economy is all connected, so if you're crypto, you're going to want traditional stocks to do well as well. Do you think institutional money changes the market today and will sustain below 20K or lower? Or will they buy it up at these levels? Ignore the haters. Love your analysis. Honestly, if you really look how many institutions are heavily invested in Bitcoin, it's really not that many, guys. There's a whole lot of narrative being spread around. Like I said, don't pay attention to the news. Pay attention to the charts. Keep an eye on traditional markets along with the dollar. But no need to pay attention to the news. The news is like a lagging indicator. After the move, like if it shoots straight up, then they'll say it was because of blah, blah, blah. If it shoots straight down, then they start looking for what they call FUD. But calling FUD or calling facts FUD does not make them untrue. What do you think about the weekly RSI resistance? Let's take a look at the weekly RSI. Where was I looking at the weekly here? Let's go to weekly. What are you talking about? Right across here. I don't look at it like that, but how I do look at it is we have further down to go on the weekly, I do believe. Much further down to go on the weekly. But yeah, like I said, guys, that looks pretty much like a blow-off top to me. They're saying it has to have a blow-off top. If it has to, well, there it is. Dusty Balls. I never once said we were going to zero, and that's pretty much impossible. Hey Savvy, been having trouble knowing if an asset gets rejected or not at the trend line. How do you confirm that an asset's getting rejected at the trend line? One way is divergence, looking for either bullish or bearish divergence, either hidden or traditional. And if you go to my wife's webpage, inkyorimage.com, there is a link down below. I'll show you that also. It is right here, my wife's crypto merchant and personalized gift page, inkyorimage.com. She does, this is the #1 seller on there, and this is the mouse pad. It's the divergence cheat sheet. A lot of people that are new to trading like to keep an eye on that. It's one of the hardest things it's kind of confusing when you first learn it, so it's good to have it sitting on your desk. But she also has a lot of other great crypto stuff in here. A lot of she can put pictures on glass, family pictures, whatnot. But that is my wife's webpage. That's another way to help support the channel. So Kane says, go ahead and short everyone, you'll be wrecked. Right on. Same thing they were telling people at 60 to 64,000. Do you still think that we're in wick-off redistribution on the daily, considering we blew through the previous high during the bearish period? Yes, I still think so. If you take a look at it, we blew through the previous high right here. Let's see. You can see it right here. If you guys didn't see this video, Kelly Sims, thanks, Savvy. Well, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. So anyways, we drew this line in back when this video was on March 24th, and we'll listen here.
We got our bounce. Everybody started buying.
Whoops. Let me turn on this so you can hear it.
Back here, and that's the automatic reaction.
Yeah, we blew
and then
past
we came
it here.
back down lower. Well, first we got up to the ST, which is right here, and that's the secondary.
I hope you guys can hear this better.
Then we came down to the sign of weakness here, where everybody bought it back up, and then we got up to our UT, which is the up thrust. And then you can see the trend line on the up thrust here. We dropped back below this trend
Listen
line
carefully.
where the buying climax was. This is what it would look like if it plays out and we go to that 63 or 64,000 to the up thrust.
63 or 64,000. And then we go over to this one. So this was the bullish case, guys. And this video was on May 18th. The other one was on March 24th, if you want to check them out. But this would have been the bearish case for me. So I'm just going to play this.
5 up. We talked about this being an ABC possibility. That 41.6 is the area to hold. If this does not hold.
So if we would have bounced off that 41.6 way back here before the drop, then I would have been bullish. This is explaining it. And then I'll show you the next part where I explained exactly what's going on now.
I'll show you the bearish case after this. But in the bullish case, if this is to hold up here for the next week or so, we could be going up for one more fifth wave to the 72 to 77,000 range. That is the bullish case scenario, guys. Let's take a look at.
And then here's the bearish case.
The bearish case.
We called these numbers out almost perfect.
Instead of this being
I thought it was going to go a little bit lower, but all we had to do in 5 was break this low. But if you listen and look, Our wave 3 hit perfect, wave 4 hit perfect, 5 wasn't quite as low as I thought it'd be, but that was the finish of wave A. So here it is.
ABC, this could be a 1, 2, 3 coming down. And if that's the case, wave 3 is around the 30,500 is the measured. If we take the Fibonacci retracements or extension, I'm not going to do that in this video, but that would put wave 3 down here to that 29 to 30,000 range. Then we might get a wave 4 up to 40.
And then next, you're going to want to listen to the dates here for wave A, B, and C.
6 range, and then wave 5 coming down to wave 23. Now that
wave 4 hit, it doesn't, you're not going to hit perfect, dude. Here's where wave 4 hit. If you look, wave 4 hit exactly 41.3, which was pretty damn close, dude. So anyways, if for those that want to listen and pay attention,
that makes this extremely bearish, in my opinion, because this would be wave A.
Kane, it did not go to almost 50K. This is what I try to explain to you guys, but you just want to sit and be rude and obnoxious. But let's zoom in here. Wave 4, right here, buddy. Is 41,454 is where it ended. I said 41.7. Whoa, I was. And then 5 came down, broke wave 3. Just didn't go as low as I expected, but we knew all it had to do was break wave 5. So let's listen to the dates when I say the A will end, B will end, and then C.
Which, like I said, around June, towards the
41.3 is close to 48. Okay, when did I say 48? It was 41.7. 41.7, dude, right there. Jesus.
Maybe middle end of June.
Kane,
no way to really
you're
tell
just
exactly where.
Whiny
and
ass,
again, guys, this will bounce around for a little bit. But if this does happen,
so anyways,
look for a nice bounce in June. Might be a good time.
So anyways, for those of you that do want to listen and pay attention,
look for a nice bounce in June. Might be a good
nice bounce in June.
Time to long or another a wave B. Now the wave B should go like at ABC. Maybe we'll get up to the 41. Back down to the 30, and then back up to maybe the 51, 52,000.
Did you hear that? Remember, this video was from May 18th.
And back up to maybe the 51, 52,000 range. That'd be sometime in August. And then C being,
boom. That's where I still think we are. That's why my videos are the same every day, because nothing has changed. Nothing at all. I'm going to give it some more time like this. I got it subscribers only right now. So, anyways, yeah, this is what we're looking at right now on the hourly, guys. This is where I'm at. This is what I'm looking for. Possible, like I said, if we break this 46.2, sorry about that. If we break this 46.2, we could be going, let's take a measured move of that real quick. Let's see where that would get us. If we go from our low point here to our high point here, that would get us to approximately 49.2, somewhere in that area. So keep an eye on this. If we do break the 42, if not, then we're probably headed back down to retest the bottom of this right here. We've had this drawn in since, I think last week we drew this in as a possibility. That 44.3 range within the next couple days, but if at any time we break this bottom trend line, I think we're going to continue down. Otherwise, if we get a bounce off of it or just bounce from here, then I'm looking for that 51 to 52,000. People listen to respond, not to understand. That's, you know, that's what people do. It does get irritating. For those of you that know Bitfink, he was like one of the most watched people on TradingView. That's why he left, just because of all the hate and the miserable people. But guys, remember, misery loves company, and most of these keyboard trolls, weekend warrior, keyboard warrior people are just miserable. People, most of them have no life, and they just want to bring people down with them. So keep that in mind when you see the trolls make their trolly comments. So anyways, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Don't forget to smash those likes. Let's get this video to 2,000 likes by tomorrow. So if we have 2,000 likes on this video before tomorrow's video, I will go over the alts with you guys, the altcoins of your choice. We will chart them and look at them. So anyways, thanks a lot, guys. I am out of here, and I will see you in the next video. Take it easy, guys.